Hi everyone, I am Doris Thecoder back with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by, and if you are returning, thank you for coming back. Um, Today's video is really going to be to share a resource, a conference plug. I guess I'm a little biased. I'm speaking at the conference, but a conference for anesthesia. So if you are in the specialty of anesthesia, coding, reimbursement, compliance, if you are a physician, entering anesthesia, resident, a fellow coming out, a new physician, a current physician that's established, maybe moving practices. No matter where you fall in the anesthesia spectrum, this conference is going to be immensely valuable for you. It's the Advanced Institute for Anesthesia Billing and Practice Management. We are going to be meeting March 6th through 9th in Las Vegas. You can go to AIABPM.com that you see up here in this address. Go to your conference information. Looks like they're actually doing a hybrid for the billing and coding boot camp. So if you're a new coder just entering into the space or entering into anesthesia or need a really good thorough refresher on matters of anesthesia coding, you can get just the boot camp for $99. There's also discounted registration until January 15th for the entire conference. It is impossible to It's pretty hard to work in anesthesia without knowing some of the names that are like staples in anesthesia. Kelly Dennis, Devonna Slater, and Ace. Those are folks that have been in anesthesia for decades, right? They will be speaking and presenting at the conference as well. Really knowledgeable speakers that cover everything from coder to C-suite. So if you are starting in anesthesia practice, building one, staffing one, trying to find out about risk patient experience, if you've ever attended a conference with Vicky Mykoviak, you are never going to be let down. She covers areas related to risk. Surprise billing is what she's covering this time. So you can check out the full agenda on this. I will be speaking in one of my specialty topics in the billing and coding track, not in the boot camp, that's a different day, is agree to disagree. Is there a better code for that? So during this session, and this is really important because we run into this particularly if you code in the pediatric space, we run into situations very often. I don't know how to stop that, so I apologize. We run into situations very often where we have cases where it says anesthesia care not typically required. Well, what do you do when it says anesthesia care is not typically required, but you are most definitely doing anesthesia for that case? We see that a lot in the pediatric population because what an adult will be able to go through procedurally without any kind of sedation or anesthesia, a child cannot or won't. So we're going to talk about what do you do when it says anesthesia care is not typically required? How do you code when your procedure is an unlisted surgical procedure, right? Or a category 3? Or what if there is a code? Are you limited to using just the code options there? I'm going to cover in that session 37236. I have another video that I'll link here that I covered, Do It Now or Later, I believe is the video where I talk about coarctation. So this year for 2022, we actually got a CPT code for coarctation of the aorta, which is just some medical name. It's a complex way to say there's a stenosis, but it's more of a congenital stenosis as opposed to an acquired stenosis. So let's say it was not a coarctation. This patient had atherosclerosis or arteriosclerosis in a segment of the aorta, and to treat it, the provider placed a stent. Today, the only code we have, the code we have to describe that, is the transcatheter code 37236. Now, although we have new coarctation codes and they route us to 1926, you'll notice that 37236 gives us 1924, which is the proper approach because it's therapeutic interventional. It's not an open procedure. And it gives you 3 other codes that are not kind of relevant to the aorta. It doesn't give you 1926. So even though the newer codes are kind of routing there, they added and updated that. They did not update the alternate for 37236. So you can check my video, Do It Now or Later, for that. But we are going to talk about those times where, yes, maybe there is a crosswalk, there is a code given. Are there times where maybe you can disagree with that? And if you do that, are you doing that with logic, right? Everyone wants the higher code and the most reimbursement, but it may not be compliant to do that. So maybe even the better code is a lower valued ASA code. So we're going to talk about those scenarios in my session. Agree to disagree. Is there a better code for that? So if you're interested, you want to attend that. It's very, very reasonably priced. You can go to AIABPM.com, go to your conference information, and you can get a discounted registration prior to January 15th. So I'm your friend Doris Thecoder. Hopefully I'll see you at the beautiful Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas or virtually, but if not, subscribe to my channel, like it if you do, turn on notifications so you know when I post. There are some really exciting things happening on the channel in 2022. I'm going to have a collaboration with Kelly Dennis with Kelly's Anesthesia Tips on YouTube, Perfect Office Solutions, and I'm also going to have a collaboration with an emergency medicine physician. We're going to cover some of that critical care stuff and critical care interventions, and the ones, are they critical or interventions or not, what they do. So stay tuned. You want to go ahead and like, only if you do, like, subscribe, comment, give me your feedback if you find any of these videos helpful, and subscribe and turn on notifications so when I do post, you know, and you can respond timely. Happy 2022. This is the first video of 2022. Wait, no, it isn't. It's the second or third video of 2022, and I'll see you in the next one.